Morning chaps, how the devil? Well. Imagine my shock. To quote Mr. Watson, imagine my shock. Those of us that have a fully functioning brain, rather than a skull full of mincemeat, like a certain albino jellyfish that's currently attempting to run the country. Or even worse, the feeble geriatric that's just managed to fuck up half of planet Earth. If you have a fully functioning brain, you haven't been advocating for Britain to become some sort of police state which doesn't allow anybody in or out. But you have been advocating for the same common sense, reasonable, perfectly logical processes and procedures that we had all throughout the 80s. You know, when we used to go to school and you get a couple of kids from foreign persuasions, but because they were in small numbers, you'd make friends with them, and within a few years' time, you had nice, well-adjusted British immigrants that talked like me if they were unlucky. If they were lucky, they got to move somewhere pleasant, a nice leafy shire, so they grow up speaking like a newsreader and not like me, the borough, where you sound like a cross between a Scottish tramp, an Irish alcoholic, and a Scouse prostitute. I don't even know what's going on with the borough accent, but there you go. You got well-adjusted children. Only when we opened the floodgates and there was so many people moving here that we were essentially creating ghettos, like Molenbeek in Belgium, that gained international attention because of the sheer volume of I don't like saying the I word, what can I use instead? The sheer volume of gleeful customers at Alan's famous snack bar. Yeah? Alan's famous snack bar. There's so many customers inhabit Molenbeek that he sells out of everything. He even runs out of fucking salt and vinegar. Alan's snack bar is absolutely brimmers in Molenbeek because instead of sending a couple of kids up north and a couple of kids down south, they just go, fuck it, let's stuff 600 random fucking illiterates in 2 streets. And funny old thing, they don't do a very good job of integrating. Not their fault, is it? It's not their fault. If you sent 600 people from Leeds to Spain and stuck them all in 2 streets, what do you think's going to happen? 600 hairy-ass scaffolders from Leeds. Do you think you're going to just wake up one morning if you're one of their Spanish neighbours? Yeah, open the curtains and what greets your eyes? No, that's not how it works. It wouldn't work with the Scottish, the English or the Irish, or the Welsh. Let's not forget the Welsh. I like Paz. It wouldn't work. It doesn't work. And if anybody who's been running the fucking show for the last 40 years had the brains that the gods gave a goose, we wouldn't be in this mess, and they wouldn't be killing children and squashing little girls on the streets of Nice and knifing tourists in the middle of London. So when I read this, it come as no surprise to anybody other than those who work for the Home Office and everybody who's left of Boris Johnson. Which is almost nobody, because the modern Tory's about as right-wing as Geoffrey from Rainbow. It's unbelievable. So a person who arrived was flown into Birmingham and they're on the fucking watch list. Which, if you need me to explain it, the watch list is massive chopper with a penchant for violence and death. That's why you're on the watch list. They don't put you on it for shoplifting in boots. Yeah? Then we've got this one, which if anyone doesn't remember, Salman Abedi, yeah, we knew his parents were jihadis. We let them move to Manchester anyway. We then saved Salman Abedi from Libya, rescued a jihadi. And then he came to England and murdered a bunch of little kids and women. Fucking nice one. Champion. And then, what's this one? Yoink, that was only a couple of months ago. I don't even want to read it out, because if I read that out, that's another inconvenient fact that Susan will use as an excuse to string me up by the gonads. Yeah, she will commit a fucking hate crime on me. So I'll just leave that there for you lads to read. Link in the description. The point I'm getting at ladies and gentlemen, is that a government's number one priority should be its own citizenry. And if we cannot slow the tide, process and disperse anyone that we take in during the current migrant crisis, women and children will die. British women and children will, it is guaranteed. It would happen if you flew 50,000 Scotsmen in, because they're at that age, sort of 16 to 35, when some men are aggressive, dangerous predators. That's just the way it works. And if they don't get a grip very, very quickly and impose some measures to slow the tide, and down in Dover, where it's an absolute free-for-all, women and kids are going to bear the brunt of it. And if you want to stop a far-right madfucker ascending to power in Western Europe at some point very, very soon, I suggest the left wing pull their heads out of their collective arseholes and realise that forcing far-left politics upon an unwilling population will inevitably lead to the rise of a far-right person who will force something down their throats that they won't like very much, because it won't be politics, it'll be a fucking pump-action shotgun. Alright? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm trying to do you boys a favour. Fix this issue quickly, because when people start burying their children, they lose patience very, very, very quickly indeed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you lot at 7 o'clock tonight. Cheers.